every single figure they put on pre-order, I complain about overpricing, but this has to be the worst one yet. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. For today, we are looking at figure news fix. Figure pre-orders between 24th to 29th of June 2024. As you guys can see, I sound very different today. The world of anime figure pre-orders has not been very kind to me this week because I was down with a really severe throat infection. I couldn't speak at all. I was literally like a mute just 2 days ago. And now, on a Saturday night, I have to rush things out and get things done for Figure News Fix to be on schedule. And this week is the absolute worst week when it comes to figure pre-orders. Way too many stuff. I have no idea what the figure brands are doing over here. Maybe because it is mid-year, the end of June, end of mid-year, and they need to put a certain number of figures on pre-order because, you know, key performance index, KPI. Yeah, so this is a horrible week for me, but I'll try to bear with me for a second. And we shall begin with HLJ first, our affiliate partner. As you guys can see, the sheer number of tabs on top, and this is only HLJ. What about Ami, Nin Game, and OSGK, which is just as bad, right? Too many stuff. Okay, and I shall begin the 1x4 scales first as usual. This week is a bit odd. Okay, we shall begin with 1x4 coming from Party Look. Green Twin Tail Bunny-chan Fishnet Tights version by Party Look, 36,000 yen, coming out in January next year. This figure came out before in pink color. Now they repainted the whole thing in green color. For 36,000 yen, can get her in this fishnet stocking or in the painted stocking version over here for 34,000 yen. Personally, this is a tough choice. I actually like this painted version more, but I know a lot of you prefer real fabric fishnet, right? So I can see this one selling better in terms of the numbers, right? However, between this green color version and the pink color version that came out a year ago maybe, I prefer the pink color. Yeah, this green color reminds me of all of the vegetables I hated as a kid. Yeah, overall a great figure, just that I'm not sure if I like the color scheme on this one. Okay, moving on to the next one, 1x4 scale binding. Laura, 35,000 yen, coming out in April next year, and this is like an adult mature version of Holo from Spice and Wolf. Coincidentally, yeah, she is wearing nothing. Yeah, she is completely Hadaka. So if you like the character design, maybe pick one up. I think she's kind of cute. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here by Q6. This is 1x5 scale with Ami-chan Reverse Bunny in normal skin color for under 21,000 yen, or you can get her in 10th version for the same price. Between this one and also the fair skin version, in my opinion, specifically for this character, yes, the 10th version looked a lot better for some reason. I don't know why. I think this is all down to case by case basis, but this is not the kind of figure I would buy, you know. Giant Oppai, giant Segi Oppai, not my kind of thing. Okay, regardless, 21k 1x5 scale, great value if you don't mind these kind of figures. Next, this is odd because this week Free Ink has 1x6 scale bunny figures, right? So when I did the Smile Fest coverage, I thought it was weird that, you know, Free Ink was re-releasing kind of the same figures but without a price tag, and one of you commented saying that is 1x6 scale. So has finally Free Ink realized that very few people could afford 40,000 yen for 1x4 scale, so they are now releasing stuff in 1x6 scale, which is welcome. For more palatable 20,000 yen, this is 1x6 scale Minami Kurose from Dolphin Wave. I have no idea what is Dolphin Wave, but this is just generic bunny girl to me, so I'm not too sure if I like it. Same thing for this figure over here, Kiwi Izumi, also from Dolphin Wave, 20k only at 1x6. I don't think these two characters exist in 1x4. Yeah, I don't think so. Moving on to the next one, we have a 1x6 scale Vertex Original Elf Village 9th Villager Ulysses. Okay, and 30k is very expensive, but Vertex is like an S tier figure brand to me. The stuff they make are amazing in quality. And yeah, even at 30k, it is worth your money if you can afford one. I do have friends who are collecting the entire series of Vertex L figures. They told me it is worth it. Despite the asking price, this is the standard version. If you want the limited edition, which is only available in Ami as an exclusive, yeah, you get the special grass base for about 33,000 yen also. So if you are collecting L figures, please do pick one up. This is worth it, right? Despite the high asking price, maybe you want to get this at Ami instead. Okay, moving on to the next one, 1x5 scale, Nishikope illustration Totsuki Kokoa special edition by Enso Toys. Alright, this is the special edition, 18,000 yen, and here is the normal version for 16,000 yen, almost February release. Now, this is very generic and boring to look at as a bunny figure, but once you go for the limited edition or special edition, that face expression alone, oh, that is so worth it. Yeah, 18k, get this one, get the special edition. No point going for the normal version. This is like generic bunny figure. This one is worth it just for that tongue sticking out face expression. I like it a lot. Yeah, at least that face expression over there makes her very different from many other bunny girl figures. So spend the extra 2,000 yen and pick up this version. Moving on to the next one. Okay, from Enso Toys as well. I think I've arranged things going by manufacturer for this week. We have Black Rock Shooter Elishka. Yeah, 37k. Unfortunately, that cannon over there has to be supported by a plastic rod. Not that they have a choice. I'm happy to see Black Rock Shooter getting more figures, but I'm not sure if I like this version. Maybe because of the viewing angle, the face looks a bit weird. And the debris, all of the broken fragments she is standing on, I think they could use a bit more shading. They are shading, I can tell, but I need more of it. Is that LED? Oh, if there is LED inside, this would be fantastic. Okay, 37k is not too bad of a purchase, not to mention this is a 1 year plus wait, August release next year. I wouldn't say this is my favorite BRS figure, but I would rather you get this over the Guzmal version that came out more than a year ago. I think 2 years ago, yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have Yui's ceremonial version from Princess Connect Redive. Well, Princess Connect figures are usually very expensive, but this one is very cheap, coming from Good Smile. And this week, Good Smile has like 6 figures on pre-order. They just put 6 figures on pre-order in one single Friday. That was ridiculous. And most of them, the good news is that most of them are very affordable. This is one of them, just 18,500 yen, coming out in January very soon. Yeah, Princess Connect. I just couldn't bring myself to watch the anime adaptation for some reason. Everyone seemed to be rice addicts. Everyone, like, you just watch them eat rice balls every episode, you know? Yeah, for fans of Princess Connect, I think this is worth picking up. It is so cheap. Moving on to the next one, we have Rika Takarada. Yeah, the one with the very soft tie I covered and even made her a highlight in Smile Fest 2024 coverage a few days ago. So this is just under 15,000 yen. Poof, mind blown. Wow, 15,000 yen. How can you say no? Like, this is already hands down one of the best Rika scale figures out there, and she goes for 15,000 yen. Get one. Pre-order it. Holy shit. This is too good of an offer. This is fabulous pricing. I have no idea why they put Good Smile Company over here, HLJ. This is by Good Smile Arts Shanghai, I think. Regardless, 15k, pre-order it, especially for fans of the Gridman Universe. Get one. Moving on to the next one, my favorite figure this week. A very simple figure, but my favorite because I am in love with Nikke character designs. So yeah, I'm thinking of getting one, pre-ordering one 1x7 scale Rapi Classic Vacation version from Goddess of Victory Nikke by Good Smile, only over 15,000 yen. As you can see, the figures Good Smile is putting on pre-order this week are extremely affordable. This is also by Good Smile Arts Shanghai, not Good Smile Company. They're not the same, by the way. Related, but not the same. And in general, Good Smile Arts Shanghai is like B tier, but Good Smile Company is like A tier, you know, they are different. Good Smile Arts Shanghai is a tad bit lower. I would say they are B plus, not B plus, but they are a tad bit lower tier in quality control compared to Good Smile, but not bad enough to be a big concern, right? If you like her, pre-order it. Even this is by Good Smile Art Shanghai, I wouldn't think twice, I would still pre-order it. This is really good. Moving on to the next one, this is also one of the best figures this week. Went on pre-order on Tuesday itself when I did Smile Fest coverage. Oguri Cap Action Miracle from Uma Musume by Good Smile. Yeah, I mean, Uma Musume is hot stuff. I'm not exactly a fan of it, but I know it is really popular, and yeah, the asking price 26k isn't low, but at the same time, this isn't too far off a typical Fate Series FGO figure by Good Smile, also around the 25k, 26k price range. So for Uma Musume fans, you might want to pre-order it. The amount of details on the outfit are fantastic, like not the kind of stuff I would pre-order, but look at the outfit design, that alone is worth your attention. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have two male figures from Good Smile at only 15,000 yen each. Suguru Geto from Jujutsu Kaisen and also Satoru Gojo. I mentioned this back on Tuesday as well. I prefer the S-Fire version, Sega version, surprisingly. But also the S-Fire version is like 25,000 yen each, which is a whole 10,000 yen more than this one. So choose whichever that fits your budget, right? I don't think these two will turn out bad in any way. 15k for 1/7 scale. Great buy, regardless of how you see it. Moving up to the next one, we have two scale figures from Fuvio. Both are from Smile Fest, by the way. So this Winshima figure from Eurocamp, despite including a motorcycle, is only 30,000 yen. I think this is on par with Alta's version. No, Alta's version came out a few years ago, right? For a bit cheaper, but you need to account for inflation and depreciating yen. I would say 30k is very reasonable. Back then, they would ask 40,000 yen for a Hestia figure in a wedding dress. So this is an improvement in terms of their asking price. Just that, I'm a bit wary of their quality control. I mentioned this many times when it comes to Fuvio. Regardless, if you loved Eurocamp, I think you can give Fuvio a chance over here and pre-order it. But if you are a bit too afraid of them screwing up the figure, maybe wait until after release, because a lot of Fuvio figures, they bargain bin nowadays. So it might not be a bad idea to wait until after release for this one. Moving on to the second Fuvio figure with Holo from Spice and Wolf, Yukata version, only 20,000 yen. Now, unfortunately, I can't recommend this one because this doesn't look as good as whatever other brands are offering. Yeah, sure, for big fans of Spice and Wolf, maybe pick one up, but for everyone else looking for Holo figure, I would say if you're buying only one or two Holo figures, there are better options out there. Just go to MFC, search for the results, and go for your favorite one. Yeah. There is one Holo figure in normal outfit, casual outfit with 2 mugs of beer in her hands. I think that is my favorite version. I can't remember what brand is that. I think it was Emon Toys. There are 2 brands making very similar figures. I think Kadokawa did something similar. Yeah, those were my favorite versions. This one is a bit lower on the detail side of things. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have 2 figures from Union Creative. Both are original characters. Nana illustration Virisu Ichinose by Union Creative, 27,000 yen at 1/6 scale, January release. For fans of the artist, I suppose, because generic character design, yeah. A girl in a very fluffy maid-like outfit with an umbrella. Yeah, this is for people who like the artist. Doesn't appeal to me that much. And the second figure over here by Union Creative, Yoshio illustration OL, 20,000 yen only, no scale mentioned, but Union Creative figures are pretty big. They're usually 1/7 to 1/6 scale range, so don't worry too much about the size. Now, this is something for those of you male lovers. Yep. I'm normally not a big fan of males, but I don't mind adding something like this to my collection. Just that given the amount of priorities I have for Blue Archive, FGO, and Nikke stuff, I can't afford to waste my money on figures like this. Otherwise, I would like to add them to my collection as well, or at least review them. Yeah, I mean, that face, the character design with glasses over there with very thick arms, big oppai. This is textbook MILF territory. Moving up next, one single figure by Any Gift. 1x7 scale book Girl Toko Amano, 17,500 yen only, coming out in July next year. 1 year wait. Now, Any Gift is a Chinese brand and they are a branch of Any Game who is making a lot of Azur Lane figures. And every single Azur Lane figure by Any Game which went on pre-order, at least 1 year of wait. So I'm not too surprised this one has a 1 year wait as well, despite the simplicity of the figure. Now, this is one of those textbook classic summer feel figure, white summer dress, a bit on the plain and boring side, but for a photographer like me, this is extremely photogenic. It is unfortunate that I can't allocate budget on figures like this, but I would love to bring a figure like this to the beach and photograph it outside. Yeah, I love it. I mean, from the perspective of a visual artist, photographers are also visual artists. We create visual artwork. Yeah, I love this a lot. There are many figures like this with a very similar style over the years, and I have always loved every single one of them. It is just unfortunate that I just couldn't spare a budget for it. And alright, moving on to the next one. One single figure by Kadokawa on pre-order this week. Gonin from False Lander. I actually like this so much. I mentioned this many times, including in my Smile Fest coverage. Yeah, this combination of samurai style outfit with this cyberpunk style of vibe. This crossover between science fiction and also traditional samurai. Oh, whoever that created this crossover is a genius. The results are amazing. So this is also something extremely photogenic. I can already imagine a few scenes in my mind on dioramas on how to photograph something like this. Yeah, 22,000 yen is a fabulous asking price. Very reasonable. Get one if you love the character. Moving on to the next one. From this anime called 100 Girlfriends. I think it is a manga adaptation. Go and watch it. It is funny AF. I'm stuck at episode 5, by the way, in my backlog. Okay, we have Shizuka Yoshimoto, 1x7 scale by PM Office A, formerly known as Plum. Normally 20k, but you can get one for under 18k with that diorama base over there. Good value, but Plum is a B to C tier company. Would say B. Right, B tier company. Detail levels are not high, but I mean, if you want anime figures from this specific manga or anime, I think Plum is the only brand making the figures, so you don't have much of a choice. Pick one up if you like the manga, right? No other options out there. Okay, moving on to the next one over here from Prisma Wing. This is the most absurd figure of the week. I have to put this figure in the title of today's video for this week's news. Dates a Bullet White Queen Deluxe version for 70,000 yen by Prisma Wing, which is Prime One Studios PVC figure division. Prime One Studio on their own, they make high-end $1,000 resin statue figures, resin or polystone. Prisma Wing is their PVC division, and just because of that unique base effect part over there and whatever that is behind her, 70,000 yen. No. Yeah, this is an amazing figure for sure. I mean, can I have a look at her face over here? Yeah. This is almost as amazing as a 40,000 yen Eastream and Shibuya Scramble figure. Yeah. I mean, if Shibuya Scramble figure made this thing, I think this would be 40 to 50,000 yen, not 70. So this is about 20,000 yen overpriced. Yes, by 20,000 yen. This is 50,000 yen at most. And then the standard version over here, if that is too much for you, still cost 40,000 yen. I think this is ridiculous, man. This one over here, this is maximum 30,000 yen. 30,000 yen maximum. This is overpriced by 10k, and this is overpriced by 20k. But Prisma Wing is no stranger to overpricing their figures. I mean, in the previous months, every single figure they put on pre-order, I complained about overpricing, but this has to be the worst one yet. Surely the figure looks amazing, but I don't think the price is justifiable at all. But for those of you who have really deep pockets, there are no other White Queen figures out there, right? I don't think so. So, will you get this one? Let me know down in the comments below. I would say maybe wait. Be patient. Maybe Alter or Eastream Shibuya Scramble figure might make a figure of her. Both of these companies made so many Tokisaki Kurumi figures, why wouldn't they make a White Queen figure? They might. Right, be patient, maybe wait until Wonder Festival and see if they announce anything. Alter does not really attend Wonder Festival, they attend Mega Hobby Expo, I believe that is October. But Shibuya Scramble figure might appear in One Fest, I think it is August, right? No, late July, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next figure over here. Okay, we have 3 Azur Lane figures this week. The first one is by Maiden Voyage. 1/7 scale Prince Heinrich. Bunny Girl version. Okay, 25,000 yen, almost December release, very soon. I don't know, man. It feels like serving a figure on a dish for me as my, I don't know, my dinner. This is a photo frame, right? I think this is a photo frame. Excuse me. Yeah, my throat is not good at the moment. Yeah, this is a bit like a 3D photo frame figure. Reminds me of that Miku figure by Good Smile 10 years ago. But I'm not sure if I like this one. A really well executed 3D photo frame figure was this Mieto's figure from Kakegurui. That one was really good. This one, I'm not too sure if I like it. Maybe it is just a matter of personal taste. Or maybe it is because I don't like the detail levels of this figure. Yeah. Detail levels are on the low side because this is a bunny figure, no matter how you see it. Yeah, I would skip this one. Moving on to the second Azur Lane figure. Oh, this is really good looking. Both on the simple side, but really good looking. From any game, 1/6 scale Kashino Robust Floral Strings version. 24K October release. That is next year, by the way, October 2025. Long wait for sure, but I think the wait is really worth it. This is beautiful. Alter has a figure of her, right? Yeah, I think they do, but this is 1/6 scale. Alters are 1/7. 24K? Yeah, why not? Any game is a tier A Chinese figure company. Their quality is great in general. Okay, the next one over here, okay, by Apex Toys, we have Amagi. Okay, I'm not reading that long title. This is the special edition where you get an acrylic box for a very expensive 40,000 yen coming out in July next year. Yeah, for hardcore Azur Lane fans, it might be worth considering, but I mean, if you already have your D12, you have your Blali Date or Bin Laden shelves or Gutstar shelf by IKEA, why would you need an acrylic case, right? This kind of case is for people with an open shelf like the one behind me where you don't have dust protection and you want every single figure to have a unique background. Then you might want to get an acrylic case for every figure, but it gets really expensive. I mean, without the acrylic case, this figure goes for only almost 34,000 yen. The case is 6,000 yen. So imagine spending 5 to 6,000 yen for each figure. Yeah, the cost adds up a lot. So for most people, yeah, having a glass cabinet makes more sense from a financial standpoint. But if you want your collection to be unique, spend more money, I suppose. This is worth having. Moving on to the next one from Reverse Studio, also a Chinese brand. Girls Frontline OTS 14. Okay, this is heavy damage version, which is anime terms, anime words for less clothes or torn clothes. Okay, 22,000 yen only for so much stuff. You're getting almost a diorama over here. Almost for 22k. Wow. Man, these Chinese brands are really giving these Japanese figure brands a run for their money, man. I really like how they elevated the figure on a platform, acrylic platform. Yep. So that you can get a good look on the figure from a proper angle. Acrylic is not a cheap material, by the way, so it is quite surprising that this is only 22,000 yen. The only one single negative about acrylic is that it is very prone to scratches. It is very easy to scratch it, but otherwise it is a very durable material. And acrylic is also something you do not want to expose to sunlight. It might turn yellow, right? Okay, so for this to cost only 22k when you're getting a giant acrylic base, man, the Chinese brands really know how to give us value. And you're even getting this bonus piece over here, very similar to the Kafka block I get behind me as well. Yeah, great value. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Oh wow, one of the best figures this week as well. By Apex Toys, 1/7 scale Arknights JN10. Not sure how to pronounce that. Thousands Mountains version. Okay, 25,000 yen. August release next year. Okay. You know what I love so much about this figure is that there are so many different materials being used on her outfit with multiple different layers of texture, and the outermost we get something translucent, transparent. Pose is on the boring side, but the detail level and the outfit more than makes up for it. I really need to consider picking up Arknight figures nowadays. With Apex Toys, I'm not too worried. Maybe I'll wait until after release, I'll pick one up. Yeah, I'm not too worried about pre-ordering it early. And man, the base is... This is a 10 out of 10 base. And yeah, this is close to one of my favorite figures this week. I still like Rappi a lot more because not of my bias towards Nikke, but this is not too far off. This is top 3 my favorites this week. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, we have 5 or 6 figures by Kotobukiya this week. Just like Guzman, they're competing on who has the most figures on pre-order. And 1/7 scale Uma Musume Manhattan Cafe. You know, the names of these characters in Uma Musume just never made sense, but I heard that they're actually based on real race horses in real life. So maybe, yeah, I suppose that makes sense a bit. Just like, you know, Azur Lane and Kantai Collection, they base their names on real ships. Still, a human-like character being called Manhattan Cafe, weird AF to me. Okay, 21,000 yen with that grass base over there. Value buy. Of course, that Good Smile figure earlier, Ogura, right? Ogura is a lot nicer, but this is, I mean, value buy, right? Kotobukiya stuff in general, they aren't bad purchases. In my personal tier list, I know that you guys requested for a video on tier list. Which one is good, which one is moderate, which one is bad. Yes, I will do a video on that, but after my throat gets better, right? Okay, worth adding to a collection for Uma Musume fans. I don't see much shading on the paintwork, but the detail on her outfit more than makes up for it. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is a bit of a surprise from Girls Band Cry. No, I tried the anime 1 or 2 episodes. I heard really nice things about it, but the CGI is really turning me off. Yeah. By Kotobukiya, 1/7 scale Nina Iseri, almost 24,000 yen. Now, this is pretty expensive for a simple figure by Kotobukiya, but you know, when I watched the anime, I gave it a try 1 or 2 episodes, then I saw the production team behind this anime being Toei Animation. I'm not surprised anymore. Like, Toei Animation is one of the biggest copyright and license trolls on the internet. Yeah, I mean, if you are a YouTuber and you review anime, never ever put anything related to Toei Animation, not even a 1 or 2 second video clip from the anime into your YouTube videos, you're gonna get copyright strikes. Yeah, Toei Animation is a huge copyright and patent troll. Yes, there is such a thing as fair use laws, but they don't play by that. And it is not like we YouTubers have the budget to hire an attorney to dispute their copyright claims. So yeah, don't mess with Toei Animation. And when you consider the fact how highly Toei Animation thinks of themselves, it is not a surprising thing that they would ask a lot when it comes to licensing cost for merchandise, which is possibly responsible for why this figure is so expensive for a Kotobukiya figure. Yeah, you guys don't have a choice, but at least Kotobukiya is putting in effort over here. It is quite rare to see this level of shading on the paintwork. I mean, look at all those different tones of navy blue color on her jacket. Yeah, that looks quite nice for Kotobukiya figure. Oh, I love the details, man. Simple figure, but not lacking in details at least. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one over here at FX series, we have Mina Ashiro from Kaiju number 8 by Kotobukiya. 17,000 yen, you get the big ass cannon. I'm not sure what else can you ask for, right? Recently, was it Sega S-Fire? Yeah, they have announced their own version of Mina Ashiro as well. So just pick your poison, whether you prefer this one or you prefer the Sega version. And yeah, you wait for the Sega version and pre-order it. The only unfortunate thing is that I predict that the Sega S-Fire version is going to be an S-Fire online exclusive. It won't be easy to get one. And yeah, that one might be 25,000 yen and up. And if you want, you don't want to spend too much money on a figure from Kaiju number 8, I would say this is the safest choice instead of waiting for the S-Fire version. Yeah. In fact, I would say I'm like 90% confident that would be an S-Fire online exclusive. S-Fire exclusive stuff, they are the kind of figures you can get on Good Smile online shop though. But bear in mind that Good Smile online shop nowadays, they no longer allow figure pre-order cancellations. So do factor that in mind before choosing which one to pre-order. Okay, moving on to the next one, another Art FX series with Kazuma Kuwabara or Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, 23,000 yen after small discount, February release. I mentioned this before, Yu Yu Hakusho is the anime which I have no problems with, but a TV channel called Animax made me hate the anime because they repeated telecasting this anime like 5 times a day for like literally every month, right? Too repetitive. Yeah, for fans of this old classic, it is worth picking up, of course. Moving up to the next one, same thing again, the main character Yusuke Urameshi version 2. 21,000 yen. Effect parts and yeah, a good dose of heavy shading on his outfit. 21k. Hey. I would rather you get this, save up for this one instead of buying Good Smile Sport Parade. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have 1/8 scale Joseph Joestar by Sentinel, 18,000 yen only. Okay, Sentinel is a brand I'm not very familiar with. They actually make model kits too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they make mecha stuff as well, and the occasional scale figures, but I don't know enough to give them a feedback. 1/8 scale 18k is somewhat reasonable. I mean, Japanese brand after all, can't expect too low of a price. Yeah, if anything, I noticed an increase in the number of figures from JoJo, which is a great thing for the fans, not to my interest though. Moving on to the next figure, now we're entering into the low-cost figure territory on HLJ. Hold on a second, I think I covered this figure last week, right? Yes, I did. I remember that mousepad for only 2,000 yen. I was talking about it for 2 whole minutes. Yeah, she is now available in HLJ, so I'm skipping past this figure over here. Moving on to the next one from Siki Anim, which is also a new Chinese figure brand. 1/7 scale Shibarare Cat Ruhuna-chan. Okay, deluxe edition, you get a wall scroll for 9,000 yen. If you're not interested in the bonus, 8,000 yen. For those of you who love Nekomimis, which I really do, yeah, worth considering. You see the gradient paintwork on the hair? Oh, this is really good. And very similar to what Animaster does to their low-cost figures. This is relatively detailed for low-cost figure. I mean, look around the gold chains around her arm. Yeah, this is quite detailed. For an 8,000 yen figure, no-brainer. This is a no-brainer, pre-order it. Okay, moving on to the next one by Yuewen Goods, Chinese brand again. 1x10 skill, fights, breaks, fear, Medusa, Sanyan, Jiyue version. Okay, 6,000 yen coming out in October this year. Yeah, 3 months, 4 months away. Okay, Yuewen Goods is a relatively new brand. They have like 3 figures on pre-order. Yeah, only 3 or 4. And this fights, break, sphere thing, I've only seen this name in third-party resin figure companies where they make $800 resin statues at 1x4 scale. Genuine scale figures at 1x10 or 1x8, I haven't seen any. Yeah, so this is something new to me. And by the way, this is one of those Chinese novel or game with realistic character designs, not my cup of tea. So I'm skipping past this one. Next one, we have a pair of Blue Archive pop-up grade figures. Hibiki, 5,000 yen. And also Kotori, 5,000 yen. I like them a lot. I find it hard to recommend pop-up grade nowadays, but no, my bias at work again. I like Blue Archive, I like Nikke, I like FGO. And honestly speaking, the face expression on this one, Hibiki, is really good. And these two are meant to be a pair, right? So, tough choice. Probably not a bad idea to pre-order. Probably. I'm not sure how to recommend now. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Meiko Honma, otherwise known as Menma from Anohana, pop-up rate 4,000 yen by Good Smile, December release. Now, this is nostalgic. This is a tearjerker anime, like sad anime, sad ending, And because of the sad ending, this anime has been really popular. Came out like 8 or 10 years ago, really old anime. A lot of figure brands back then made scale figures of her. Max Factory, Good Smile, Alter, all of them had scale figures of her. And they are not easy to find nowadays. But this is a very simple character. I don't see the need to go out and hunt for a scale figure of Menma by Alter and pay 30,000 yen for it after market price. I don't see a point. So maybe maybe pop-up rate is good enough, right? This is the kind of character where the outfit, design, everything is so simple that it is very unlikely for Good Smile to mess up. Okay, moving on to the next one. Yeah, Eltina Orion L size from Legend of Heroes. Everything from Smile Fest 2024 are going on pre-order. 8,000 yen, but there's a small discount. 2440 Japanese yen. Is Kotobukiya's version of scale figure already out? I'm not too sure, but this is for those of you who are more budget conscious and really, L size is not a bad buy. I can recommend L size, but the normal pop rate is harder to recommend. Moving on to the next one, what do we have over here? King from One Punch Man. Dude is like, his luck is S tier. And he ended up as being the strongest simply because of a long string of misunderstandings. But anyways, 4,000 yen only in November release. This is not the kind of figure that you need to pre-order, wait until after release, Next one, we have Josuke from JoJo, 4,000 yen as well. And lastly, normally I don't cover chibi figures, but I'm giving this an exception because this was hilarious when I saw the anime Oshinoko, where Kana Arima is licking baking soda off the ground and they are making a figure of that for only 3,000 yen. So if you are into this kind of thing, I think it's worth picking up for 3,000 yen. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week on HLJ. Now we move on to Ami for some exclusives and figures that are not yet listed on HLJ at the time of recording. A lot of figures here as well. Yeah, the anime figure market is really torturing me this week. I'm trying not to deviate from my schedule whenever possible, Okay, firstly, we have Ami exclusive Lapland, how to pronounce that? Anyways, this is from Arknights by Alter, and this is like the Horror version, the deluxe version, for almost 46,000 yen. Ouch. But hey, I'm sure a lot of you are more than willing to pay this kind of money for an Alter figure, right? Yeah, 46k only for a tier S figure coming out in June next year, 1 year wait. Yeah, I don't see myself buying one, but for those of you hardcore Arknight collectors, must have. There is a simple version for 25k. What do you think? Will you go all out and pay almost double, or would you settle for something lesser? This is not 5,000 or 7,000 yen cheaper. This is like a whole 18,000 yen cheaper also. A huge difference. It is like buying 2 figures with the DX version. I mean, if I was a hardcore fan, I would still go for this one, right? Moving up to the next one. Okay, we have a few Amakuni figures this week, and none of them are on HLJ. I'm not sure if they are Ami exclusives. It is really weird that their figures are not showing up on HLJ at all, including those on pre-order last week, right? And Amakuni has a tendency to overcharge for their figures because they know they are really good at it. They are like somewhere between tier A plus to tier S in terms of quality, so they can just price their figures in any way they want and they don't have to discount it. So this Chizuru Mizuhara swimwear version, this in my opinion is like a 16,000 yen figure maximum, but they're asking for close to 20,000 yen. You guys saw how Good Smile priced their swimsuit version of Blue Archive figures for 13,000 yen? Yeah. So this is at most a 15 or 16k figure, but they're asking for 20k just because they can. I'm not sure if I can recommend that for this reason alone. And the sculpting around her waist region, all those abs and muscle lines, that is something Amakuni is famous for. It is their sculpting of the female anatomy around the waist region. They are famous for that, right? So this is just Amakuni just showing off how well they can sculpt a figure. Yeah. Moving up to the next one, another overpriced Amakuni figure, Yanagi Uzaki Little Devil version. Even at 1/6 scale, this is too expensive at 27,500 yen because it is a plain figure, right? All it has going for is the size of 1/6 scale, plain black outfit all the way. This is like 23k maximum. I suppose that this is one of those cases where this statement makes a lot of sense. If you are really good at something, do not do it for free, or in this case, do not ask for too low of a price. The third overpriced Amakuni figure for the week, Makoto Nijima from Persona 5 Royal. Yeah. Plain JK school uniform girl in 1/7 scale for over 27,000 yen. This is absurd. This is ridiculous. I just can't recommend it no matter how good Amakuni is. Yeah, Prisma Wing takes the cake for the most overpriced figure of the week from Date a Bullet earlier. But next in line are these 3 figures by Amakuni. One day you guys are going to regret it when Chinese figure brands dominate the figure market. Next, okay, for those of you who love furries, Mame Hinata by Weebos, 13,000 yen. Chinese brand, by the way, Weebos. Now, HLJ listed this figure on pre-order and then removed the listing. I have no idea why. Or maybe their link is broken. I have nothing to say about this figure. This is for those of you who love furries. That is it. Okay, next. Okay, this figure is not an exclusive, but not yet on pre-order in HLJ. From Siki Anim, we have Elvina-chan wet version. We need the base to be really wet, in a way. The clothes she is wearing is so undersized that the opai is almost showing. Now, Elvina-chan, there has been 2 other figures of her already. I remember the one made by Max Cute. That one was 15,000 yen. This one is even cheaper at 9,400 yen. Deluxe edition where you get a wall scroll. If you're not interested in that, the standard version is over 8,000 yen. Yep. Needless to say, it is worth it if you don't mind displaying figures like this at home, of course. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. This one is also not yet on HLJ. From Animaster, we have a 1/6 scale Ishimi Yokoyama. Okay, 7,000 yen. Now, if not for the expression, the face expression and the pose, I would be skipping this figure because of how plain and boring it looks like. Yeah, the colors are too dull. Most likely I will skip this figure, but for everyone else who like the character, no brainer. Just like those Siki anime figures earlier, no brainer. Next, another Animaster low cost figure. Okay, Cheshire, not from Azur Lane, right? No, it's not. Just under 7,000 yen, coming out in May next year. Yeah, once again we have cloth covering Oppai, that kind of character design, which is so overused nowadays. Yeah, why not? Between this one and that bikini figure earlier, yeah, I would go for this one. This is a good pre-order. Okay, moving up next, another new low-cost Chinese figure brand. The name is Happy Yay! What kind of name is that? Anyways, V Ayami Cat version 1/7 scale for under 10,000 yen. Wow. More Nekomimi and I love it. And this is an opportunity for me as well. Like I can review so many different Chinese figure brands without spending too much money, and like 90% of the times I bought these figures, I end up keeping them because I actually like them a lot. Yeah. Of course, highly recommended. You don't have to think about, I don't know this brand, I'm not sure whether it is good or not, should I pre-order it? Don't worry, right? I have yet to come across a really bad Chinese brand figure so far. You either get tier A or tier B. I have yet to come across a tier C Chinese figure brand. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, I predicted this last week. Last week we had a figure from Ijirari Fukusho Saimin. I was so happy to see it. And this week we have another one, Izumi Nogami, which is my favorite girl from this H anime. Just that, once again, let me repeat my rants over here. It is such a waste that they are getting figures in bunny suit. I would like figures of them in a half undressed school uniform. That would be sick. Yeah. That would probably be one of those rare cases where an anime figure makes me hurt in some way. 37k is okay for a binding figure, right? Get it. Grab one. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, the next 5 or 6 figures, they're all edgy figures. So, I don't have a choice. Heavy censorship, but wow, this one. This is 1/3.5 scale. Giant Oppai and that Manko in full display over there. Wow. I mean, at this scale, any relatives that visit your house and see this figure on display, you are like shoving something X-rated right into their face, and man, I would really love to do that to my own relatives. Okay, anyways, second grade class F exhibitionism. Suzumi Kuma by Pure, Chinese brand by the way, Pure. 55k, 1/3.5, get it. If your country's laws permit such figures, of course. I want one in this full 1/3 scale glory. But even if I had the money to spend on something like this, importing it into my own country is a different challenge altogether. It is possible, but very difficult. And yeah, there are moral police to deal with. That's the problem. Not to mention, I can't review it on YouTube even if I really wanted to. Now, if you can't afford this one, there is still a relatively affordable 1/5 scale, which is still pretty big for under 30,000 yen. Yeah. A great buy if you can get it into your own country. Moving on to the next one, this is also one of my favorite figures this week. Bear Panda made a similar figure of this character. I don't remember whether it is 1/4 or 1/6, right? But if you want something way higher quality, Hot Venus is the one you should be buying. Yeah, 1/6 scale, 33k is expensive, but I would say it is worth it, right? Bia original character, yeah. This is based on the artwork and also the original artist behind this character. She cosplayed as this character, I believe. I love this so much. I'm not going to scroll through the pictures, but given that this is by Hot Venus, an edgy figure brand, I'm going to assume that this is customable. Moving on to the next one, we have Hogu Shoji Shiori Sakuragi 1/6 scale by Pink Charm. 33k, yeah, another premium edgy figure brand, and more Nekomimi. I love them. Okay, I can't show you guys too much, but If we go by the face expression alone, yeah, it is my type of figure. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Milk Tank illustrated by Augur. 1/6 scale, this is a limited edition with bonus by Eclipse Feather. Should be a Chinese brand, I think. Okay, 26k. And there is a standard version, 23,400 yen. I'm not sure why these milk tank figures are so popular among some people, not my kind of figure. Yeah, and that is all for figures on pre-order on Ami this week. Now we make a quick stop on Ninin Game for some of the insights and beautiful figures on pre-order. I'll go through them very quickly. Yeah, just genuine figures alone. This video today is getting really long because the number of figures are really absurd. Okay, there are 4 versions of this figure of Aina by Forge Japan. Okay, 19k for the 1/6 scale. I like the outfit though. And then, yeah, 27k for 1/4 scale. And of course, there are the ecchi versions where the clothes are pushed aside to get to see the Oppai and Mango in full view. Same thing again, 1/6 and 1/4 scale, so there are 4 versions. Moving on to the next one, same thing again but white skin instead of tanned skin. We have Arisa, that's her name, 1/6 scale, 19k. And then there is the 1/4 scale at 27k. I actually prefer the tanned version in this case, but some of you will want to buy both. You know, they are like a set. Yeah, buy a set of your preferred scale. And of course, there are the ecchi versions at 1/6 and 1/4 as well. Moving on to the next one, we have Hadaka Queen Wiza 1/6 scale, where she's wearing nothing at all. 20k for the 1/6 scale and 27k for the 1/4 by Insight. Quite a shame because the character design is quite nice, but the brand behind this, I don't have to repeat myself, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. Finally, a lolly. 1/3 scale. Wow. Mesugaki Miria Amazaki 1/3 scale. Huge lolly at 51,000 yen. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Kurosu Gatari. Okay, President, Student Council President, Luisa Richter. 1/6 scale by Insight, 21k. And 30k for the 1/4 apparently. Student Council that has to submit to the main character is very common in H anime. And lastly, this figure is pretty weird. Like, I did not see this figure in Ami or anywhere else. Did I miss out on her? I'm not too sure. This is by a new brand called what is the name of the brand? VV5. VV5, never heard of them. Original character, shall we go again? Yuki 1/6 scale. I love tennis. I myself was a tennis player. I played in competitive tennis until one day in my senior years in college, I injured my left calf muscle really badly. I had a muscle tear, and since then, I never played tennis again. Seriously though, I would really love to play tennis again, but I'm not sure if my legs could keep up because any strenuous activity will result in a really bad muscle cramp on my left calf. Yeah, the same spot. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Luckily, my throat is still keeping up. Okay, now we move on to third-party resin figures, and I have a few links down in the descriptions below. Make use of those links if you are planning to buy or pre-order anything from HLJ or OSGK. You know, they are our affiliate partners. Just use any of the links, enter the site, and then you can go to homepage and navigate anywhere else to buy anything else, and you will be helping this channel. On the third-party resin figures site, we have a lot of figures as well, but not as bad as the genuine ones. Firstly, updates compared to previous week. Okay, this very popular pair of Blue Archive figures, Hikari and Nozomi, we now have a price $298 US for 2 figures at 1/6. Great value. Just that you are not getting a DX version with Hadaka version because it is virtually impossible to cast off figures like this. If you want the Hadaka version, you buy the same pair of figures all over again. Another $298 for the version S, which is Hadaka version. I don't see a point though. Just get the bikini version and you'll be very happy with them, right? Don't buy the same figure twice. Okay, and the next update is this figure of Prince Albert. We now have full pictures and a price of $170. Can't say I could recommend them just because she is wearing nothing, just towel around her neck and her crotch region. I don't see a point, really. Okay, and the next Azur Lane figure over here, this is a really good one from Moss Studio. We have Josiah in this Azur Lane Brilliant Night Dream version. Yeah, pretty expensive. Okay, regular version is $279 and deluxe version $332, where you get cast off above parts. Yeah, a bit on the pricey side, but she looks amazing. I mean, look, the face sculpt, oh, there it is. And look at the shiny paintwork on the head, man. It is worth it. And more studio, yeah, their figures are plenty okay. I've seen pictures of their figures. I would say you can feel rest assured and go and pre-order it. This is really good for third-party resin figure, man. Okay, the next one over here, we have two One Piece figures only for this week. First one is Genie by New Century Studio, only $135. I'm not sure if I can recommend it. Yeah, plain, right? Pretty plain. Even at $135, I'm not sure if I can recommend it, but the face looks fine to me. Coming out this December. The second one, I can't recommend this Boa Hancock. I'm saying that first. By OP Crew Studio, this is 1x4 scale at only $300. Just that, the face does not really look like Boa Hancock to me, if I have to be honest. So yeah, this is pretty cheap for a 1x4 scale, but still, save that money. Get yourself something nicer at $300. I would rather you buy a high quality 1x6 over a low quality, low effort 1x4. Yeah, always prioritize quality over quantity in your figure collection, be it size or number of figures. Okay, next one over here, oddly enough, we have only one single Genshin Impact figure this week. This is the one Nahida Leaf Lolly from by CR Studio, only $93. I think this is their second figure. Yeah, CR Studio is known for all these GB figures for under $100. And I think they have done Nahida before. This is the second one. And CR Studio is fine. If you are interested in their GB figures, they are fine. Right? Moving on to the next one, we have 4 Anya figures this week. Yes, 4 of them. She has to be selling so well for every brand to make figures of her. First one is Anya cosplaying as Princess Mononoke. And together with Bond for $99, yeah, not a bad value proposition. Just that, why? It is really cool that they are doing all these crossovers, which genuine brands won't do, but not my kind of thing. Second Anya figure, we have Kirby and Anya Forger, another crossover. Yeah, this is quite cute for $79 by CM Studio. And then the next one over here, the third one, another crossover with Gengar by Come On Studio, $97. Primary color and glitter color. I mean, for something Pokemon, I think glitter color might be a better choice. Oh, the face looks really weird. Like this is a fatter version of Anya or something. The face is really how do I describe it? The cheeks are kind of puffy. Yeah, doesn't look like her that much. And the fourth one here, another generic Anya Forger figure for $91. No, I can't really recommend it, right? Yeah, just a generic Anya figure at 1x6 scale. Yeah, next one over here, we have a few 1x4 scales. The first one here, this is a very nice take on the Venus statue, art statue, by Coreplay Studio and Wonderland Studio, $332 at 1x4. Coming out in June next year, year 2025. This is like a modern take on a very old historical art statue. Very nice. The body sculpt, man. Yeah. You can even see some veins, see? Yeah. And I'm not sure if I should scroll any further because her ass is almost exposed. So go and check out pictures of this statue. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is an early bird pre-order and a teaser picture. Tracer from Overwatch. Yeah, the sculpt is looking amazing already. I guess we can agree on that, right? And with Overwatch, I think only Apex Toys is doing the scale figures. Yeah, so third party is the way to go if you want something more premium. Next 1x4 scale. This is one of the highlights this week. Not my kind of figure because of the realistic face, but I don't mind having them. Yeah, like this is incredible. From DT and Ume Studio, a very well-known and famous 1x4 scale resin figure brand by now. Their stuff are totally fine. Okay, this is the night version. Starting from $830, yeah. And then there's a glitter color version for the same price. Yeah, go for the bike version, which begins from $830. Okay, so we actually do have a full picture, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Wow. This is over 80 centimeters long. Over 80 centimeters at 1x4 scale. And yeah, the shipping cost is going to hurt. But if you don't mind that face over there, this is close to being one of the best third-party FGO figures I've seen. Yeah, no joke. I could only admire because there's no way I can afford one. Okay, next one over here, also an early bird pre-order by 404 Studio, Ada Wong from Resident Evil. Now the post on this is smoking hot. 1x4 scale won't come cheap. I'm predicting anywhere between $700 to $800. This is in fact one of the better looking Ada Wong third-party figures, right? There are so many third-party figures of her, be it 1x4 or 1x6, which felt kind of low effort in a way. Yeah, this one looks really good. I love the pose. Okay, next one over here, one of the highlights of the week, PJ Studio. Licensed figure brand, and they are famous for their original character figures. Yeah. So this one coming at almost $600. No surprise at all. 6 character in their Elf series Naga. I have a friend who is actually collecting this entire series. He loves it. Like the first 1 or 2 figures by PJ Studio, they had issues where the part started sagging down in the heat, hot weather, and then the resin started cracking and sagging down. But now 7 or 8 figures later, I suppose that PJ Studio would have learned their lesson already. Hopefully they did some additional reinforcement on the material when they make these figures, right? Yeah, their first 2 or 3 figures had sagging and crack issues. Okay, moving on to the next one. Chikara Studio, we have Elden Ring Eternal Queen Marika. Okay, dress version, the one you're looking on screen, that is what I recommend. $430 only at 1x4 scale. No release date yet. There's no need to get the Hadaka version, right? Elden Ring from the game, right? Yeah, from the game, not my kind of thing. Okay, what else do we have next? Okay, next we have licensed resin figure from Shiyue Wutong Studio, Black Magician Girl, 1x6 scale, but a very hefty $438. I'm not sure if I can recommend this one at all because I don't like her face at all. Is this based on an older art style, like Yu-Gi-Oh from the 1990s and Yu-Gi-Oh today in 2010s, 2020s? Maybe the character design has changed a bit, I don't know. But this really looks like an old school art style to me. Maybe that is what it is based on, and I'm not really a fan of it. Okay, next one over here, we have 2 figures of Makise Kurisu. Curiously enough, not a common character among third parties. This is by Rosa Studio, $279. Coming out this December. I don't like this one. This is a tough sell in my opinion. They're not going to sell many of these because Makise Kurisu has so many excellent choices among genuine figure brands already. And why would I want a third party of her that does not really look like her over here? This face, I'm not sure if I like it at all. Yeah. And the second one over here by Prism Studio. Okay, animation version $314. And then there's a game version for the same price. They look very similar. Apparently, the only difference between these two is the face, but then I can't really tell a big difference over here. Oh, the eyes are different, I see. Yeah, this is the what she looks like in the anime. And the game version, yeah, this is like Hyuk style artwork, right? I'm actually glad they are giving people choices over here. And this is definitely the better looking Makise Kurisu figure compared to the earlier one by Rosa Studio. Maybe you can get the deluxe version where you get both heads for $344. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Look at the details, man. Okay, this one is pretty good for third-party resin figure of Makise Kurisu. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one from ABC's Works Studio. We have original character Himemiya Hina, only $102, coming out this December. Now, this could be worth it. For a bunny girl figure, she has a very unique pose, and I find this to be very photogenic. As a photographer, I like it a lot. I really wish that this is PVC, not ABS, and not resin. I wish that it is PVC, but only $102 at 1/6 scale, worth considering. Moving on to the next one, we have one single blue archive figure this week from Ryoge Kisaki from SC Studio and Blink Studio for a very affordable $183. You can get her unpainted if you're interested in trying to paint your own figure, but I'm not sure how are you going to paint all those all those texture on her Chinese dress unless they include decals in the box, right? Maybe they include the decals, I'm not sure. Yeah, that is not something you can paint. Anyways, there is a huge toy in front of her, so I have to censor the toy part, unfortunately. $183 if you like her face, might be worth considering though. Okay, moving on to the next one. As usual, every week we have a shit ton of Honkai Star Rail stuff. We even have 3 or 4 Firefly figures this week because she is now everyone's waifu somehow. The first one here, we have Kafka in a rabbit outfit, and together with that jacket over there, man, she looks fabulous. The only problem is that, this is L version, $184, XL version, where you get an extra body for $268. Okay, back to where I just said I cut myself off earlier. The only problem here is that whether you like her face or not, this is a bit different from the Kafka, I know, but not bad looking, right? It is like a different artist has a different take on the very same character, and that is based on his or her own style, right? Nothing wrong with that. Very subjective. Even though this is not my favorite Kafka face, I still think I don't mind having one. Just because of that bunny suit plus jacket combination. I think Max Factory did this blue archive figure of that lolly character, can't remember her name, where she is wearing a jacket as well. I think bunny suit and jacket, they are an amazing combination. Yeah, so this is quite nice in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, like I said earlier, there are 4 Firefly figures this week. First one by GG Bond Studio, $191 but not yet confirmed. Even if this is going for $150, I can't say I recommend it. I mean, it is just a generic bunny figure with Firefly's face on it. Yeah, go spend your money on something else better. Get a Firefly figure with a Sam behind her, you know. Okay, and the second one over here from Ironbird Studio, $168. And this appears to be her in that not broken armor outfit. I don't play the game, so I don't know what it is about, but this has to be her pilot suit, right? And in battle damage effect of some kind, so there you go. Firefly with barely any clothes on for $168. Up to you really. I think her face looks okay though. To me, the face is the most important part. The third Firefly figure, yeah, wedding dress. Wedding dress is not something I can recommend. So there are version A over here, $254, and version B, $279. CGI renders, right? Yeah. And the fourth version over here by Shuju Honglyo Studio, also a wedding dress. 3 versions over here starting from $235. where you get this figure. I believe that you only get one single figure, but you can cast off the skirt region. I think it makes sense. Version B, oh, okay, slightly different. Looks a bit better, I think. I love garter belts, by the way. And version C, you get Hadaka version, right? Oh, no. Oh, version Z, you get two different. Okay. My favorite is version B because I love garter belts. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. We have two figures of Silver Wolf, very popular character. First one by Loveholic and Alta Studio 3. Oh, I see. 317 is 1x4 skill. 1x7 skill will set you back at $160 only. You know, for resin figures, get 1x6 as your bare minimum. If you can, go for 1x4, of course, if you could afford it. But in general, 1x6 skills are okay purchases. 1x7 is getting a bit too small, you know, resin is fragile. So you wouldn't want the parts to be too tiny and thin. Yeah. And for this Silver Wolf over here, her face is fine AF, I love it. And the 1x7 scale, the 1x4 scale is only $317. So it is worth considering if you want a simpler figure of her, but big one, right? I actually like this one quite a lot, despite the simplicity of the figure. Yeah, next one over here, early bird pre-order and a teaser picture from IU Studio. Yeah, that is all we get. A black and white unpainted figure of Silver Wolf, though this pose is a bit overdone. Like, every third-party brand is doing Silver Wolf in a very similar pose, you know? Okay, moving on to the next one over here. Oh, what is this, man? Robin from Honkai Star Rail by Momoji Studio. So we have a Hadaka Robin on this scale for $117. Why would I buy something like this? Yeah, obviously they make something like this because people will buy them. Sometimes I don't understand other people's taste in figures, but I suppose that is what that makes the human race unique, right? Everyone is very different. Okay, next one over here, the only Honkai impacted figure this week. Pardo Felis, I never heard of this name. New character, I suppose. Arctic Wolf Studio, of course. Arctic Wolf Studio is very quick to jump on new characters, man. Standard version is going for $254. There we go. Deluxe version with Hadaka part $272. And EX version, you get two entire figures for $361. You know, having bought 2 or 3 resin figures by now within this year alone, I think I'm done with deluxe stuff, man. I'm done with that. Like, every figure I buy, I at least I'll get 2 or 3 figures in a set. Way too many of them. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, yeah. Third-party resin figure brands, they are always playing with fire, with Uma Musume. So this is, wow, this is very popular on my Facebook page for very obvious reasons. Yeah, we have a really thick Satono diamonds over here for only $172 only. Yeah, very fan servicey, but I can see GA Studio selling a lot of this. Very bold of them to make something like this, man. Okay, next one over here. Yeah, we have 4 or 5 Zenless Zone 0 figures this week, which is nuts. Okay, the first one is Nico Demara, $172. Not confirmed yet, but this appears to be a low budget figure. Yeah, and we only have one teaser picture. Her face looks fine though. And the next one over here, we have 3 figures of Ellen Jo. 3. Arctic Wolf Studio, no price yet, and this is a teaser picture right here. Second one, I don't like this one that much. Like, her face looks really weird on this one, right? Also, an early bird pre-order, normal clothing version, and also Hadaka version. Miss Studio, okay, this is really cheap, up to $160, but just because of the face alone, I'm not sure if I can recommend it. The third Ellen Jo figure over here, this is quite good. I like the face on this one by Alice21 Studio. Currently, the best looking Nico Demara figure is also by Alice21. Yeah, so they are doing a great job over here with Ellen Jo as well. Standard edition going for $226, premium edition $254, deluxe edition $279. I just want to get a close look on her face. Yes, This is so good, man. The best Ellen Joe figure among the three. This is so good. I really want one, to be honest with you guys. I want one. Okay, moving on to the next one. From Facebook, FB Studio, we have Alice Mana, a VTuber, selling herself. Wow. Who doesn't love a lolly selling herself? I like it, but this is just a CGI image, unfortunately. Next one over here, wow. It has been a long time since we last had a new Marin Kitagawa resin figure. This is by Limey Studio. Her face is quite good though on this one. No price yet, early bird pre-order. Not the best Marin figure I've seen, but not too bad. A lot of third-party resin figure brands mess up her face. Yeah. Yeah, and she is barely wearing anything. This figure of Marin reminds me of a very old native figure. Gamer girl. Yeah, a native gamer girl at 1/7 scale. Search for it on MFC. Very similar to this figure over here. I wonder if that is the source of the inspiration for this design. Okay, moving on to the second last figure for today. Something very degenerate, very cultured. Apex Studio pen holder. Wow. I'm imagining a really big hole on top between her legs and then you put a pen in. Wow. Would you spend $187 on a pen holder? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, and the last figure for today, finally. Jujutsu Kaisen Nobara Kugisaki by Last Night Studio. $344 at 1/6 scale. No release date yet. Now let's have a look. Oh, wow. Wow. I was about to write off the figure. I was going to tell you guys to buy the ones by Kotobukiya or S-Fire. I really like the S-Fire version with all the blood splash effects behind her. But wow. This is something. Okay, including that base and everything for $344. Not bad at all. Oh, please tell me that flame over there is LED or it glows in the dark. That would be fabulous. Whoa, I really underestimated this figure, man. Yeah, that is about it for today's figure news fix. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. I know this is a really painful week for everyone perhaps watching this video, but it is also painful for me for multiple different reasons. Yeah. So until then, if you found this video to be entertaining or helpful in any way, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. And until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.